Hey y'all, it's Jennifer DeGay with Remax Space Center, and I'm back with another community shout out. And I am so excited because today I have Jonathan Haynes, who is a two-time Ironman, which is just extremely impressive, and a new home superstar and rock star,
Right.
I add, over with he's with Lennar Homes over in the lakes of Savannah. Well, in its Brookstone section, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yes. So how are
Thanks
you
for having me,
doing?
Dad.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's been a busy day. It's definitely been different with everything that's going on with COVID, but it's been wonderful, really.
Yeah. So I guess tell me, how has the activity been there with the new homes?
It's been good. It's been interesting though, because there was a lot of confusion, I think, in the marketplace about people not sure if they could really come in and get a new home. And so it's been good. Great agents like yourself out there spreading the word that yes, you can still buy a home.
Thanks.
And you could even still buy it all remotely, which is the new thing right now. So it's been wonderful. We've had actually buyers go and buy a home without even actually stepping foot in it. With the video capabilities that we have now, it's been awesome.
Right. Yes. With the 360 degree, and that can zoom in, walk around. It's pretty awesome. I myself invested in a camera to do that. So I love it. But it is
Awesome.
interesting. I've had a lot of people ask me, do people really buy homes sight unseen?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, it's not really unseen.
Right.
But I mean, they're really walking through it. But I've sold homes in the past where, my sellers have never actually physically saw the home. Maybe
Right.
not, maybe it wasn't as common as that we're seeing today, right? Now
Sure.
it's becoming the new norm. But, even in the last 5 years, I've had several clients of mine who were, they did purchase the home, just based on the videos that I did.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not like it was 10 years ago. I mean, we have great, excellent quality videos that people can walk through. And those 3D tours that you're talking about, those are pretty awesome. Which one did you do?
Well, I mean, I've done, like the similar to the Matterport where it's a 360 degree, where you can do that. But I also have the 360 degree 4K
Oh, wow.
video. And so that's been a unique feature. So
That's
and,
awesome.
and I've been playing with it and learning it. And, I've kind of shared some things on Facebook you may have seen,
I
just
have, yeah.
playing with it. So it's pretty fun. I'm just having to really got to get used to it, but it's been a learning curve. I think we've all been in a position where we've just kind of jumped in the deep end, and it's sink or swim time, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So
the top
tell me,
producers will do that. They'll get out there and paddle.
yeah, that's right. So tell me, how has COVID, changed the new home sales?
So I think the most significant change to it has been where people are maybe, like we mentioned before, not really knowing whether or not they could come out. And then some of them are maybe a little bit worried about, what things may or may not be. And so a lot of what we've been doing is really kind of reassuring everybody and telling them that, kind of some of the changes that we've made, which is disinfecting very often. Every time somebody's there, we're wiping down. A lot of our customers now are actually coming in without any kind of involvement with us at all. That's a new thing we rolled out this week, which has been really pretty cool.
Yeah. But can you just
So yeah,
a little bit more?
It's like a showing service. And so almost, I mean, they get to go online and they get to put in their information, and they get an appointment slot for them, and it's specific for them, and it's blocked out from everybody else. So it's really truly a private showing. And so they'll be able to get that time slot and go over to our model home and be able to come up to the front door. It'll give it a personalized 6-digit code that only works for them. But through the use of their cell phone, it'll know that they're standing at the front door, and go ahead and put in that code, and they'll be able to walk through the model home and get a feel for how the house feels and whether or not they love it or not. And we can do that, like I said, without any kind of interaction at all. A lot of times we're doing FaceTime with them, or we're doing a Zoom call. or we're just giving them a call on the phone and just walking them through it and helping them.
Yes.
So it's really cool.
And I've actually, have gone and looked at homes and shown homes that way. And, any y'all realtors, if you're watching, you should definitely, give Jonathan a call and schedule, a time. Actually, he'll give you the number to call to schedule, but you should definitely, go experience that if you haven't yet, just so you can be prepared, to help clients in the future.
Absolutely. I mean, we're still doing the traditional way of, setting an appointment and walking them through it face to face. We're still doing that. We're just different precautions, using the social distancing and mask and gloves. And so we're still doing that. So somebody doesn't have to use the personalized or the private showing, but it's just another thing that Lennar is offering just to kind of help our customers be a little bit more at ease about the times that we're in, and just to provide them a little layer of comfort, knowing that we've kind of thought it out for them and just try to make it as easy as possible.
Right. And then how has the COVID-19 affect the actual construction crews?
Yeah, so that's kind of the beauty, I guess, of construction. They're most of the time doing that in an open environment. And we've just changed it to kind of having one trade in the house at a time, which is not really too uncommon. And so we've been able to keep our construction times consistent. We haven't made any changes to that. And part of that is just working with such a large company like Lennar.
Right.
We're one of two builders that did over 3,000 homes closed last year. So, obviously we have the trades that are already there. We're already consistently giving them employment. And so they're going to be there on the job site getting it done. And so we haven't really seen too much changes on the time frame, which is wonderful.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
because I've heard, several different things. Just like, with helping clients just arrange for general contractors the last month is really been a challenge. Not that they don't want to get the work done, but a lot of the workers said, no, I'm not working.
Right.
So
right.
It's been a little bit of a challenge. So that's great. I know that y'all have, technology on your side as far as showing goes, but as far as, your procedures, as far as implementing new technology other than, what you mentioned about showing the homes, have you implemented any of the new technology in your office? I know you and I kind of talked about you all are now implementing Salesforce, but how do you see you personally going and making yourself more virtual?
Well, I think I got to start being as cool as you with these TikTok videos, is what I think. So maybe I need to learn a couple things. Maybe learn a new dance or something. I don't know.
Right. I know you're going to start doing a TikTok.
Yeah, maybe I need to start doing TikTok videos like you.
Yeah. I'll collaborate one with you there.
Okay, we'll have to do that sometime.
Definitely, as I mentioned to other people, video is definitely the way. People, they'd rather watch a video than read anything.
Absolutely. And it's a trick. It's funny. I'm talking to you right now and I want to look at you in the eyes, but your eyes are over here to the side and the camera's up here. So it's very funny because I often catch myself going, wait, hang on. You can't look at the person in the eyes. You got to look at the camera. Otherwise it looks like I'm looking off in the distance. So it's learning, I guess, some of those things about, how to work with a video, and we're doing things like YouTube videos, of course, which are super easy to share, right? So we can just create that link real fast and send it over to a real estate agent so she can share it with her clients. And we're, of course, doing other things like, doing the Zoom calls, like we said. I did one the other day with an agent and her client, and we were out there at the job site and we were kind of just chatting about what's important to them. And I was walking them through a home and answering questions about lending and just kind of helping them get a little bit of education about the process. And so it's doing the same thing that we've always been doing, just doing it a little bit differently. And so I can't really say that we're rewriting the book on it. It's just a matter of trying to make our customers feel comfortable and making the whole process as convenient as possible.
Right. Well, I know that you and I, have pretty much the same outlook on business, and that's, serving God, and,
Absolutely.
and he actually gave us a servant's heart. So we
Absolutely.
care and we put our clients first. And I know that's why you've been successful.
Thank
And
you.
I have to commend you for that, because not many people will say that in the sales industry,
Absolutely. Yeah,
and that is
absolutely. No,
what's
you're
important.
going to get me choked up, Jen. No, seriously, I mean, I always actually have that written in scripture behind me here. And it's just that we are here not to serve. Like, I'm not here to serve an executive. I'm here to serve God. And how I do that is really through serving other people and, loving on them and just treating them like my own family. And so sometimes that means they buy a home, and sometimes it means they don't buy a home, and that's completely okay too. So either way is going to be fine, as long as I'm doing my job, and that is really serving them to the best of my ability and answering any questions that they have and just being a resource for them. Yeah.
That's right. And just and helping them in whichever direction that may be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
because and I've always had the philosophy that even if clients will say, well, I can't buy a home right now, that's okay.
Absolutely.
That is I'm totally okay with that, because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you're ready now or down the road. I still want to be that person for you.
Absolutely.
And and I wish more people had the outlook like you do, because even if someone went to Lennar, and let's just say you didn't have an inventory home that
Right.
because they have to move at a specific time in the price point that you need. If you actually help find them, a community that would maybe meet their needs, that is still going to help you gain future referrals, because they're going to say, that guy Jonathan, he works for Lennar, but well, we didn't buy a home with him. He was just amazing, and he actually directed us over here.
Right, and that's actually happened several times with several of my realtor. I call them friends more than anything. It's just they seek me out and they're asking me just, hey, where can I find this? And I'm always willing to be that resource for them and help them out. That's all.
Right, and that's I love that. So thank you.
Of course, no.
I can never stand, like, people will call me, or us, salespeople.
Sure.
But I never really consider myself a salesperson. I've always said,
Right.
I'm more of an advisor.
Right.
I'm going to guide you and make sure that you make the right, decision, and not, overpay, and really, just protect you to the best of my ability. As that's what we all want. So you're out there in the Lakes of Savannah, which is in Rosharon.
Yes.
That place has just boomed.
I know, it's crazy, right? I mean, it's so funny because people always come out to the community and they go, "Where am I?" And they're really trying to identify: am I in Pearland? Am I in Rosharon? Am I in Manville? Where am I actually at? And it's funny, the community is right there at like 288 and Highway 6 kind of area. So so a lot of times people don't really think of that as being Rosharon. And a lot of times people think it's more Manville than anything. And but we're only like 12 minutes away from the Pearland Town Center. And so we've got great accessibility to all the restaurants and all the shopping and everything you can really want. But we're a little bit pulled back from that. So it's a little bit quieter here. It's a huge community. It's been building for 18 years now. It's crazy.
It's so crazy because when the community first started, I think I was like the 5th sale in the Lakes of Savannah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that was, and that client of mine, we've already sold her house, found her another one, and the people that bought her house actually used me to sell their home. So it's been sold a couple of times because it has been a while.
Yeah. It's been crazy. And we've got people from like the older section that are coming to the newer section now because they want to move up into a brand new home. And it's been great. So it's been one of Lennar's top communities. I mean, every single year. And so I think we did a little over 85 homes sold last year just out of our office. And there's actually 3 different series here. So they've got your homes from the 230s up to about the 320s. And then you've got a mid-level product that kind of has a little bit of overlap. And then the high-end product is more your 330 to 430 range. And so it's got a nice spread. And the community itself, it's got like over 50 acres of lakes, and it's got 2 recreation centers and with pools and playgrounds. Beautiful, beautiful community.
I remember when there was nothing there.
Right? Now they have everything.
Yes.
They even put a kayak launch in, which I love. My son has a kayak, and so they've got a pond out there with fish in it. So if you're a fisher, you're going to love it, because they got bass in the lake and catfish, and so people will go out there and fish on the lake. So it's fun.
That's great. Yeah. So so how big is it's a Friendswood development? It
is.
And they've always had a great reputation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how many homes are in the neighborhood currently?
Oh my gosh, Jen. It's over 3,000. I wish I had the stat for you, but gosh, it's huge. Yeah, it is a Friendswood development. And those that don't know, Friendswood is actually a Lennar company. So Lennar is fantastic. So they've got the development side, which is Friendswood, and then they've got the builder Lennar. But it's not just Lennar. Some people don't know, but Village Builder is actually the same builder, and also New Home. Which Jen, if you haven't heard of New Home yet, that's our homes that are like your 160 to 220 range.
Mm-hmm.
And those are like going like fire. It's just incredible. And so we've got that brand that just opened up last year, and it's done very, very well. And so so that's the builder side of it. And then we got the lender, Eagle Home Mortgage. We've got the title company, Cal Atlantic Title. And then we've got even an insurance company. So it's a very well-diverse company. And it's great because it helps our customer be able to have that one fluid, one-stop shop, just to make the whole process easy. I love the fact, I think that life can be challenging enough. And so, and I know I hear a lot of people talk about like building a home can be stressful. And I usually tell them, you haven't built a Lennar home then, because we really focus on how can we make the whole process smooth and easy. And I can tell you specifics on how they do that, but just they look at every little caveat of that. And part of that is having the lender and the title company and even the developer involved in it. So it just makes it a much more easy process.
Right. So right now, how many inventory homes do you have available?
I've got in this community, and this may sound like a lot, but it's not for here. We've got 20 available from now to the end of August. And the reason why I say it's not a lot is because a normal month, we would go through about, I'd say 8 to 10 in a normal month. And so right now, and I know we chatted about this earlier, I think that the buyers that are out right now are really getting the best of everything, really. I think they're taking advantage of the incredible interest rates that are out there. I think they're getting their pick of home before the big rush, because I do believe, our summer months are coming here, right? So that's when it's really going to kick up. And so I think really the buyers that are out right now are being very smart to jump on it before we get to your June and your July. So by some of the houses I'm looking at, I'm thinking, wow, in the summer it might be slim pickings. So
right. So you have some brand new homes. I think your smaller, the least expensive one you have available now is what, $280,000, $990?
Right. So we do have homes that, of course, we can build. So we do have some land to build. And they go down as low as $236 is our lowest priced home that we can build. And then I know you're very familiar with Lennar, but just for everybody else, the great thing about Lennar is everything's included with them, and they've been doing this program for 30 years. And so it really makes it, again, easier for the customer because, things like blinds and refrigerators and your covered back patios and your even tile in the family room. So we've got all these kind of things that are standard in our homes to where our buyers are actually okay with buying a completely standard home. which I think is impressive. If you've been around the builder world, anything, that's pretty rare.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, definitely, blinds are a huge one because,
Sure.
I don't know of any other builder that is offering blinds,
Right.
as a standard feature.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, they even go as far as like, I love a gas cooktop. I don't know about you if you like to cook on gas or electric, but I love.
I can't go back to electric.
Once you go gas, you don't go back.
Ever.
Yeah. So I love cooking on the gas cooktop, and I used to work for some other builders, and they would sometimes charge extra for like the middle burner.
I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. So that middle burner would sometimes be extra to get on the stove, but Lennar does it standard on all of our homes. And so it's a 5-burner gas cooktop, and it's in stainless steel. So, I remember in 06, whenever I first got in this industry, it was always black or white, or, sometimes it was just white, like we just have white appliances. That's it.
Right. It doesn't seem that long ago, right? I noticed that you did have some price adjustments recently.
I did.
Your inventory home, so some of these people that may be on the fence about buying right now, maybe explain to them what type of reductions y'all put on the homes that would help them understand what a great deal they would be getting.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have, so anytime you're working with a builder, so let me just do some general knowledge here. Anytime you're working with a builder, they're always going to be focused on the inventory home. So that is the homes that are on the ground. I usually explain it to people like, if you think about it like a store owner, if you've got a can on the shelf that they could sell you, or you could special order a can, which one do you think they want to sell first? So of course they want to sell that one on the shelf, right? Because that's the one they get paid on right away. So they're always going to focus on that inventory, and that's going to be the same across the board. So we've got some inventory right now, and by the way, inventory is just a name that the industry uses for a house that they have built. So it doesn't belong to anybody. Generally, didn't belong to anybody. It was just something the builder said, hey, we're going to go ahead and start this home and build it, knowing that we're going to have a buyer down the line. And so that's what we call an inventory home. But anyhow, so we've got different promotions right now, but one of my most favorite ones is we've got, actually, I'll tell you 2 different ones that we have. So we've got one right now that really helps with the move-in expenses. So we always know that that's always a cost that people usually creeps up on them, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that cost can sometimes be a lot of money. So we want to be able to offset that. So right now we're offering a promotion right now, and it's not on all the homes, but on the quick move-ins, we're able to do a $2,000 gift card, to like a Visa gift card, to offset some of that moving expenses for our customers. So they're loving that. And we're doing that, as well as we're doing something for like a Hometowns Heroes program. Have you ever heard of these kind of programs, Jen?
Oh, of course. Yes.
Yeah, so I always love it when a company does this, any kind of company does it, because it's really kind of rewarding in a way, or thanking our people, our firefighters, our police officers, our EMS, our doctors, our nurses, the people that are really spend a lot of time serving all the time. And so I love being able to give them a thank you, like a monetary thank you. And so we're doing a $5,000 credit for them. And we're also doing it for, of course, our vets as well. We don't want to leave them out. So anybody in kind of the service industries, and we've got it outlined in the fine print, but we're giving an additional $5,000 credit. Now, it can be used however they want. My customer the other day had it removed off the price of the home, which is fine. Whichever way is good for you, that or closing costs. So, yeah.
And is that in the form of a gift card too, or is that just however?
Yeah, that's however they want to spend it. So, we can do it. I mean, we could do a combination if they wanted to. It just gives us additional money to give them as a thank you, especially during this time right now where most of them are working all the additional hours and spending more time away from their families. So we want to make sure to just honor them in that. And so it's just Lennar's way of acknowledging that, acknowledging their service. So anyhow, so yeah, that's what we're doing.
And is that on any home, or is that going to be on select homes?
That is on select homes. Yeah. So we did it still based upon inventory. So based upon homes that are going to be closing fairly soon. And so we do have homes that qualify for both of those promotions right now. Okay. And if you are not one of those hometown heroes occupations, that's fine. We still have some great promotions going on as well. One of the ones, a customer, just actually the one that interrupted us earlier, Jen, while they were at closing, they closed on their home with a 2.75 interest rate.
Wow. See, that's where I think we have the misconception. Y'all, I mean, literally the interest rates, it's been a daily thing. I mean, it's been so, I know the lenders that I work with, I mean, they're like, we're getting multiple notices a day, and it's just been, it's been insane.
It really has. I did a small stint in mortgage for a year and a half, and so I was able to help about 130 families get into a home with a mortgage. I did that about a year ago or 2 years ago. And so it was great to be able to do that. But I know, looking at those interest rates, like you said, they move so quick. And so it's not something that, I have customers that want to close on a home in, say, August. We have no idea what that's going to look like. And so.
Right. That is very true. And most lenders, y'all, are only going to hold a lock about 45. Some maybe do a 60-day lock.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so if anybody is interested in, buying a new home, but maybe has a home to sell, now's the time to really get ready to get your home on the market. There's a lot of planning that goes selling a home to make sure that you get top dollar. So, I mean, if you can get, top dollar for your home and buy a new home with an interest rate below 3%, that is amazing.
It's incredible. I mean, I can't believe it. I remember in 2012, they had rates that dipped. I remember a couple people that got below 3 at about 2012, but it was a shocker then. And I think it was right under, it was like a 2.875 rate or 2.99 rate. But I haven't seen those since then. I was talking with another agent the other day, and he's like, I haven't seen them since 97. He goes, well, no, he said, I've been in the industry since 97 and they've never been that low. So
I've never been that low and I've been in the industry 20 years.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We ran numbers for the customer that just closed. That got that 2.75. It was a promotion that we were doing through Lennar. And we were looking at, he was being offered another interest rate from another lender. And so, and people generally come in with a pre-approval, right. Especially when they come in with an agent. They'll come in with a pre-approval, which is great and highly recommended. But he came in and he said, well, I had this kind of rate, and I said, okay, well, let's look at that. And so we looked at what his monthly payment was with that rate, and then we looked at what it would be with a promotional rate. And we ended up saving him $200 a month right there on the spot because he could use the promotional rate. It was outstanding. I mean, we started looking at how much money he would have to put down in order to save $200 a month, and it was like $25,000. It was crazy difference.
Wow.
So it's I mean, I can't even imagine I can't imagine it being any better time to buy other than last week. Last week might have been a better time to buy, but people better jump on because I really believe that the people buying right now are just getting the good inventory, the better choice options, with the bigger lots. And so, yeah, it's going to be an interesting summer.
So what do you feel besides, everything's included with homes that you are offering now? What is the best feature, or what do you find as the best feature? And then what do I guess the general consensus as buyers go love about the homes?
Yeah. So besides everything's included, which is obviously something I love the most about it. I would probably say the second best is how we focus on technology. And so, especially, like right now, we're having this conversation over the internet. And so having good technology in your home is very, very helpful. I'm doing this from Wi-Fi in my office here. And in my office is the same kind of equipment that we use on our other homes. And so we use commercial grade equipment, and we use Cat 6A wiring throughout the house. And so for my non-techie people, what that means is most of your Fortune 500 companies are using Cat 5. And so Cat 6 would just be another step up from that. And we're just trying to make sure that whatever happens in the future, if we're doing a lot of video in the future, for example, just saying, could happen, then we're prepared for that your house is ready for the future. And so we actually heat map our houses. So what they do is they put in what's called a wireless access point, without being too techie to you. They put in these little boxes to make sure that we have a full coverage of Wi-Fi signal throughout our home. And so you won't have any dead spots throughout your house. And yeah, it's incredible. And that's actually how Lennar became the world's first Wi-Fi certified home, is by making sure that we don't have dead spots. And we do that through those wireless access points, which I know anytime I talk to an IT guy, he's like drooling. I'm like, yes, no, that's standard. That's what we do. And then we run it all to a structured panel box. And then we've got other components that plug into it, like a Ring doorbell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So those are standard in our homes. We also do a keyless entry. So, you can put in, you have a keypad at the front door so you can get in without fumbling for your keys. I don't know, maybe Jen, you're better at searching for keys in your purse than maybe my wife is.
I don't use keys. I don't have keys. I mean, I have keys for like my listings, right? But not, I couldn't tell you where my house key is.
There you go.
Do
you have a keypad or something?
Yeah, well, we have keypad, but I always park in the garage and come in, and then, in my vehicle is a keyless,
right.
Is keyless entry, so I don't have any keys.
Right. I mean, well, that's where we're going to, right? To where you just have a key fob, right? So it's just it's making life more convenient and more easy. But what I like about it is if you ever had like a key at your front door and you're trying to get in, sometimes it's a little challenging. And so I just like, for safety and security, to be able to go up there and just kind of put in the quick digit code and be able to walk in your front door. And it's just easy. And it also syncs up with Alexa too. So we actually have Amazon will come out to your house and set up your devices for you. Mm-hmm. And be able to kind of get your keyless entry connected to Alexa, to where you can say, Alexa, lock the front door, and she'll do that. Or probably my favorite is the one where she talks to the thermostat. So have you ever seen that, Jen?
I did, yes. I have to admit, I get a little spooked. I mean,
people are not too crazy about Alexa.
I mean, we've had Alexa just start talking out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's funny whenever she interrupts you in a conversation, you're like, who invited you to this? But I love it whenever you're like, the feature that they have is to where it works with the thermostat. And so, if you're laying in bed at night and you're uncomfortable and you want to change the thermostat, you can just say out loud, Alexa, change my thermostat to 70 degrees, and, never get out of the warm covers of your bed. So beautiful, huh?
It's just crazy. It's so nuts. I mean, all I can picture is my papa in my head, yelling like, this world has become so lazy, because we had got, our cell phones. He was like, what do you need a cell phone for? He didn't like technology. But, and with the remotes, he would always like yell at us kids and say, is it that hard to get up and walk 2 feet to change a channel? So I'm just picturing him, what he would say about this, Alexa speaking to, an AC. That's really funny.
I talked to a senior, talked to an older gentleman the other day, and he was saying about how it's kind of the same kind of thought process. He's like, I don't know about this Alexa thing. And I said, well, here's one thing though. Like, what if you fell down in your house and you needed help?
Yeah.
You know? And so
Mhm.
you could just say, Alexa, call my daughter or whatever. So, so there could be some benefits behind it. Even to the people that maybe not so into technology could see some of the benefits probably.
Right. Well, yeah, I think that's great. And we definitely are just, AI is part of life now.
It is, yeah. It is. I mean,
whether you like it or not.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not going anywhere, but I mean, it's not like our homes won't work without Alexa. So if somebody's really anti-Alexa, it's not like it's not going to work. We're still going to have the quality, devices like the wireless access point, and the wiring is still going to be there. And really, that's probably the most valuable thing of the whole thing anyways, is that structure that's inside the walls, because components can come and go, and you can add stuff later, you can take it out, whatever, but the wiring actually being there and the connectivity is probably really the most valuable thing of the whole package.
Right. I agree. And one thing, excuse me, is I wanted to ask, because
Sure.
a lot of agents that may be watching this may be curious if you have, right now some people are throwing realtor, bonuses out there. Do you have them?
We are. I was wondering if you're going to bring it up. So
yeah, I know people, like, I'm getting text messages right now, and people are asking me to
ask Jonathan if he's doing a bonus. So yes, we are. So we are doing a bonus, and how we're doing it is we're doing it 1% of the sales price, and so we are offering that to our real estate agents, and so yeah, we want to reward them as well.
Well, that's great. Yeah. So y'all listen up. Go check Jonathan out over there if you have any potential buyers. It's a great product, great location, and I mean, well, there's a lot of stuff that's coming to the area. They still have the the Manville Town Center that's supposed to be built, and that's going to be coming. I'm not sure when, or if that's got delayed because of things right now, but that's been in the process. So, and a lot of growth out there. And I mean, the only negative I can imagine, because I'm going to tell you all the negative. The negative is if you don't like Mexican food or seafood or burgers, then you're not going to like the area.
We're not that far away from Pearland,
No, but I'm just saying, like, people always ask me, what's the negative? I mean, it's like we have a lot of food. Yeah. We have very good restaurants in the area.
Oh, yeah.
And, over there, we love the Burger Barn.
Yeah.
And
that, what's the Cajun kind of seafood place? It's a little bit further down. You know that one?
Honore's.
Yeah, they're great too.
Fantastic, and the owners are great people. So.
I don't know the owners, but I do enjoy the food for sure. They've got these like little boudin balls that are pretty incredible.
Oh, you're gonna make me hungry.
Hey,
but it's great when you have not just a bunch of chain restaurants, but when you have local family-owned places to support. I mean, that's a really great mixture.
Yeah. Even like Nana's Taco Factory, like at the front of the community, is really good too. So I'll often get them for lunch or for breakfast sometimes. So they're another good place.
Yeah. There's definitely some great places, that we love Bighorn Barbecue too. So
down 6, yeah, absolutely.
Good not place. Far, and and then there's just a lot of neat things in the area too. So while you are, conveniently located to all of the big city amenities, sure. You also are just far enough removed to where you feel like you're kind of away from the hustle and bustle.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the tax rate out here is reasonable too. So they're at a 3.5 and 3.5, and so for a new community, compared to some of the other places that are around us here, that's fantastic. That they can get in at that mid 3% rate. Some of them are in the upper 3s, and so that obviously will save you a little bit of money being in Savannah versus some others. So
right, absolutely. Well, I do want to ask you a couple of things before we have to, get going.
Fire away at me.
So, have you read any good books lately?
Oh gosh, read any good books? I read this really good book recently, and it's actually the #1 bestseller of all time. I don't know. You might have heard of it before. I'm just kidding. It's the Bible. Just in case anybody didn't know, that is the #1 book selling.
That is, yeah, you're too funny. And then, and what new skill have you learned?
New skill. I've been editing video lately, and so
yeah,
of
me
course,
too.
Handy.
Yeah.
So I've been playing with that and doing transitions and putting in text and everything. I'm looking at what you have here though, and I'm not on your level yet. So I admire what we have, the scrolling words and everything. It's very impressive. So, but yeah, that's probably my newest thing that I've learned, and I'm big on making sure that we kind of focus on the basics of whatever we do. So I think a lot of times people try to chase after the new thing instead of worrying about doing like the basics really, really well. And it's funny. I'll talk to a manager. I talked to a manager recently. He's like, how did you get these sales? Like, what's the secret? And I just always kind of laugh and I say, well, do the same thing we've always been doing. Just make sure to do it well. Like listen to people.
That's right. People ask me and I always say, you do right now. It's going back to the basics, implementing technology.
Sure.
It's still about the building the relationships because people want to, like you, and we have to earn their trust. And the only way we're going to earn their trust is by allowing them to see who we are and watch us based on our own actions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you can really tell a lot of people. You and I were talking earlier. People will say anything.
Absolutely.
But again, you can walk the. You've got to be able to walk the walk. I mean, we want to see, the proof. The proof is the actions.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't control what people say, right? So people are going to say whatever they're going to say, and so it really is the proof's in the pudding, right? So
that's right. And I feel that video has really allowed us to show people who we really are, and then get an idea, versus well, I'm gonna really sound old when I say this, but back when people used to just look through the phone book to pick someone, or maybe you could just Google, and you're looking at a person based on their picture, and you're not really getting a full idea, on who are they as a person, what's their character, what are they about, what's their story, and people they want to be able to work with people that they can relate to, and I find you very relatable, and again, I know you and I have a lot of the same values, and so again, I really, commend you with that because, it's unfortunate, but it's not as common as I would love to see that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Thank you, Jen. I feel the same way. So
I'm so glad that you joined me on here.
Thank you for doing this. This is fantastic what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It really is. I mean, seriously, reaching out to other places and just kind of chatting with them and encouraging them. And it really is just another testimony to your servant heart. So, so kudos to you. You deserve them. I know you're not gonna pat yourself on the back. I know that, but please let me pat it for you. So good job. So that's awesome.
I appreciate that very much. Yeah. It's important to me to help, our community, we're gonna stay strong, and and we're gonna get through this as long as we're doing it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and if you know of anyone, that owns a small business in the area that could really benefit from, free advertisement, give them my information and let them know. We would, I would love to chat with them.
I will. I'm actually already thinking of somebody.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of somebody for you. I'll have to share it with you.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Well, perfect. Well, thanks everyone, for watching. I appreciate your support. And again, sprinkle this around so we can get the exposure that these small business owners need to help our community stay strong. Until then, we will see you later. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.